Hi y'all, this is Eva from the book blog astripedarmchair.wordpress.com, and I have been inspired by Chris over at Stuff His Dreams Are Made On to make my very first vlog. I'm very excited about it, even though a lot of you wonderful book bloggers have told me that you think of me as a lot older than I am, and I'm fairly certain that this is going to change all that. Anyway, Chris did his video on books that he bought this week, but since I'm unemployed and poor, I'm doing mine on LibraryLoot. As a lot of you know, I love my library, and I have 22 books to talk about this week, so I'm not going to say a lot about the individual titles, just because otherwise we'd be here all day. Okay, so first up, I got 3 books in for the Once Upon a Time Challenge, which I'm very excited about, since I've been wanting to start reading for it, and the library just took forever. First up, we have Isabel by Guy Gabriel Gay. Love that cover. Isn't it, like, threatening but pretty at the same time? Elementals by A.S. Byatt, which is a short story collection by one of my very favorite authors. And then we have Ain't Misbehaving by Katie McAllister. And even though it's a ridiculous pun, it makes me laugh every time, so hopefully the book will as well. Next, I'm going to talk about all of the other books that I had to get from the library and read this month in order to keep up with the bajillion-and-one challenges that I felt the need to sign up for. First up, Susan Sontag on photography, an essay collection for the My Year of Reading Dangerously Challenge. Then we have Portrait in Sepia by Isabel Allende for the Latin American Reading Challenge, which is ending this month. Then we have Java Trekker by Dean Saikhan, which is for my World Citizen Challenge, and it's described on the back as a unique hybrid of fair trade business study, adventure travel, and cultural anthropology. I've been reading 2 books a month for my World Citizen Challenge, and I've been reviewing almost no books, which is pretty shameful since I'm hosting the challenge, so I'm going to work on that. Next, we have My Name is Red by Orhan Pamuk, which is my first fiction selection for the Art History Reading Challenge. Then Human Cargo, A Journey Among Refugees by, what was her name? Caroline Moorhead, another World Citizen read. And then for the Orbis Terrarum Challenge, last month I was in China, so this month I'm going south to Indonesia with This Earth of Mankind by Mr. Pramudia, and I could not find a pronunciation guide for these last 2 names, so I'm not even going to try it. But you get the idea. I've never read anything by an Indonesian writer before, so it should be pretty interesting. Then for the Science Book Challenge, which only technically requires 3 books for the entire year, but I'm reading 1 a month because I like science, I chose The Drunkard's Walk, How Randomness Affects Our Lives by Leonard Mladenov. It's about statistics, which since I'm a nerd, the idea of popular statistics, you know, I don't know, it just sounds like a fun read. And finally, for the Classics Challenge, I picked Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. I loved his 9 stories last year, so I'm looking forward to getting to know some of the characters from those stories better. Next, we have my favorite pile this week, which is the books that I'll be using in the readathon on Saturday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please Google Dewey's Readathon, because it will bring magic and joy into your life. And fun. 24 hours of reading. You know you want to do it. Okay. So for hour 24, I like to have something that doesn't involve a lot of words, because at that point I'm tired, my brain has stopped working, and I'm not really interested in reading anymore. Usually I get a graphic novel, but this time I went with a National Geographic book, The Book of Photography, which includes history, technique, art, that kind of stuff with photography, and over 200 pictures. Then I got The Likeness by Tana French. I've read a lot of great reviews of this one recently among the book bloggers, and I really wanted a scary novel, because that way when it was late at night and I want to go to sleep, I'll just start reading this, and then I'll be too afraid to go to sleep because a crazy killer might come and murder me in my bed. So, you know, it'll keep me up. You gotta have your strategies when you're gonna stay up for 24 hours. Next, I have a YA novel, The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. It's part of a series. I read the first one during the last readathon, and it really perked me up. I was a little cranky from sleep deprivation, and it made me happy, so hopefully this one can do that too. Then I have 20-Something Manifesto, edited by Christine Hassler. I read her book 20-Something, 20-Everything last fall. It's a self-help book for quarter-life crises. And even though I just turned 23, I've always been a little bit precocious, so I've already pretty much gone through my quarter-life crisis, and I found the book very helpful. So I think reading real-life stories of other 20-somethings will be very helpful and interesting as well. Keep me up. Then we have a mystery book, Death and Judgment by Donna Leon. I really love this series. It's set in Venice, and it features Commissario Guido Brunetti, and I'm looking forward to catching up with him. And we have another YA novel, Witch Child by Celia Reese. I read her book, Pirates, there's an exclamation point at the end of that title, last fall. I listened to it as I was driving out to California, and I loved it. So hopefully this one will be just as good. I mean, it's got crazy Puritans in it, so you can't go wrong there. My last readathon book, and definitely the one that I'm most excited about, is Nick Hornby's Shakespeare Wrote for Money. This is the third in an essay collection series by him based on columns that he wrote in The Believer that are all about books he's bought, books he's read, and, you know, just the joy of reading. I've loved the first two, and I had to tell my library to buy this one. For some reason, they felt the need to own the first two and not this one. But that turned out to be good, because once it was processed, I got to have it first. It's killing me to wait until Saturday to open that one up, so I'm sure that I'll start the festivities with some Hornby. Finally, we have a few random books that I got just because they sounded like fun. First is Tibet by Patrick French. As you've noticed, if you read my blog, I've been on a bit of a travel book kick lately. So I thought reading about Tibet would be fun since I'm definitely not going to be going there anytime soon. Then I'm a Pencil. Don't you love that cover and the title? It's very nice. Anyway, by Sam Swope. He's a children's book author who started running a writer's workshop for third graders and ended up sticking with them for like 3 years. And so it sounds just really interesting. I mean, who doesn't love stories and kids and all that fun stuff? Then I have Sugarcane Academy by Michael Tisserand. It's about people from New Orleans who had to evacuate after Hurricane Katrina, and they ended up making a schoolroom out in sugarcane fields. I'm mildly obsessed with New Orleans. I've never actually been there, but I've just decided that it's this really cool, awesome place. I'm very jealous that Chris lives there. So I'm always looking for books about it. And, you know, I've been on a bit of an education kick lately, too, so it should be interesting. And finally, can you believe that we are at book number 22 already? I know. We have Boutique Knits by Laura Irwin. I bought this book because this cloche, right there, it's one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And even if I hadn't already started knitting, I would totally learn how to knit just so that I could have this cloche. I've been through the book. I mean, the rest of the patterns, there are some cute ones, but nothing tops the cloche. So, very excited about making that. And there we go. That's my library loot for the week. As you saw, it was a lot of books. And when I first saw them all on the hold shelf, I was very concerned that I wouldn't be able to physically carry them to the checkout counter. But I managed. The security guard thought it was hilarious when he saw me trying to pack them all into my bag. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed making it. So hopefully I will see you next week. Bye!